Our final witness is Mr. Tim Taylor, the President and CEO of Free Flight Systems in Irving, Texas. His company manufactures aviation GPS navigation systems for commercial and military aircraft. He has over 35 years of experience in this industry, and Tim is testifying on behalf of the Aircraft Electronics Association. Welcome, and thanks for being here.
Chairman Graves, Ranking Member Velasquez, and members of the committee, thank you for the opportunity to appear before you today to discuss the impact of small business GPS users and industry of the proposal from LightSquared. My name is Tim Taylor, and I'm President and Chief Executive Officer.
Make sure your mic's on.
Is it, is that better?
There you go.
I'm
that
sorry.
Helps.
My name is Tim Taylor, and I'm President and Chief Executive Officer of Free Flight Systems. Today I have the privilege of also representing the Aircraft Electronics Association. The association represents more than 1,300 aviation businesses worldwide, including avionics manufacturers, repair stations, distributors, and schools. Of these, more than 80% are small business. My company, Free Flight Systems, is a manufacturer of avionics systems for commercial military aircraft and was the first company to certify an airborne WAAS receiver. Free Flight Systems specializes in next-gen avionics, GPS navigation systems, GPS WAAS sensors, data link radios, and radar altimeters. Our entire industry has been working towards the implementation of GPS-based navigation, air traffic management, and landing systems for over a decade. This ongoing transformation of the nation's airspace system, NextGen, is predicated upon the availability of ultra-high integrity GPS position information, which has in turn been made possible by some 30 years of work in GPS technology that lives on the very fringes of human engineering capability. All of this development has been accomplished with a consistent assumption of a certain level of protection of the GPS signal spectrum, one that long predates any of this recent debate. LightSquared has proposed a nationwide wireless broadband network that pours high-energy radio waves into the previously protected spectrum. We, like all Americans, support a low-cost nationwide wireless broadband network, but not one that compromises the safety and efficiency of the national air transportation system. Quick studies are being undertaken and quick decisions are being made. This is entirely incompatible with the requirements of safe, airspace-critical system design. I'm reading of voluntary spectrum self-limitation, and I see reports of instant solutions to interference through the addition of a filter that was thrown together in the past few months. This is not how it works for us. The FAA estimates, and I would agree, no less than 10 to 15 years would be required to bring an amended product safely to the aviation marketplace, assuming no further changes to spectrum use. So my testimony today is not intended to support or deny the reports that have been submitted regarding the compatibility of the two systems. The record has more than enough evidence to draw a conclusion. My intent is to explain the aviation certification process and the extreme cost of small business that any change to the aviation-certified GPS navigation and surveillance systems would cause. GPS satellites are low-powered and a long way away. The signals we receive are less than the noise interference generated by the metal box we put the receiver in. But people's lives depend upon our ability to read that information and not get it wrong any more than once in every 10 to 1,000 million flight hours. If you've ever been on an aircraft landing in low visibility conditions, you will appreciate this level of integrity, as do those who live close to airports. To expect the industry to maintain performance requirements like these in a rapid response mode to a significant noise environment change is entirely unreasonable. For example, in a stable requirements environment, we have been developing a replacement GPS for one of our older products for some 6 years. We're still about a year away from a certified GPS engine and 2 to 3 years away from a usable avionics system implementation. Approval of that system into real aircraft will take another 1 to 2 years. I can categorically tell you, I do not know if the new system will work in the most optimistic LightSquared plans that are on the table. I can tell you it will not work at all at LightSquared's FCC-approved transmission levels and spectrum. AEA member companies have been manufacturing, selling, and installing GPS navigators, surveillance, and emergency locator systems to the aircraft owners and operators for nearly 20 years. These systems have been designed, manufactured, and certified to the government's technical standards to provide the aviation consumer with an assurance of usability and acceptability within the national airspace. Any efforts by LightSquared to generate a requirement resulting in costly recertification and retrofits of the already installed systems will directly and negatively affect the industry and the nation's airspace. In closing, while we support the concept of low-cost national wireless broadband system, no system, regardless of its anticipated benefit, can be allowed to compromise the safety and security of the national air transportation system. Changes that affect the national air transportation system require long-range planning, and we encourage LightSquared or any other company to participate in the aviation technical standards development process. RTCA and the FAA have been working towards next-gen for nearly 20 years. If neighboring technologies need changes in the aviation systems in order to be compatible, these companies need to work with the FAA and RTCA so that the next generation of aviation products might be designed and certified to be compatible with their future business plans once the current generation of products reaches the end of its service life. The idea that a new entrant into the marketplace can arbitrarily introduce a new product that immediately compromises aviation safety and security while expecting the aviation industry to design, manufacture, test and certify and install an aviation compliant filter is simply not realistic. Thank you for providing me this opportunity to address the committee. I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.